tried to make shower steamers during the summertime and then try to make them during the winter time, and it's really different, and you've had problems? You're not alone. Today I'm going to be making some tulip shower steamers, and I'm going to show you some different ways that I combat this problem of the air being drier versus having humidity in the air, and especially during the winter months. Hey, I'm Diane, the owner and creator of Vermont Lavender. Welcome to my channel, and let's dive in. So right now the humidity in the air in my shop is 20%. I have my humidifier on, so I'm working in a much drier environment than I am usually in the summertime, which is like 50 to 60 to 70%. So I have an opposite problem, and you may have this problem. Number one, what I want to talk about is the dry winter air pulls moisture from your mixture. So wintertime versus summer. So as we know, in the wintertime it's a lot drier, and in the summertime you have a lot more humidity, and this plays a major role with working with your mix. So in the warmer months, the humidity just hangs in the air, and then you have to have a dehumidifier. The wintertime, moisture is actually being pulled away from your mixture at all times, just like your skin, and that's why we use a lot more moisturizer, lotions, body butters, and things like that in the wintertime. So number two, you have a shorter working time in the winter, so your mixture dries out a lot quicker versus in the summertime you have more humidity, so you just take a little bit more time. The winter time, especially when I'm making like I'm using the tulip shaped Kata mold, and so I'm working with a 3D mold. I have to work a lot faster when making and pressing my shower steamers. Because the air is a lot drier, I don't just walk away with and let my mixture just hang there and just, you know, do other things. No, I am constantly working with my mixture. So what I do to combat this problem of when I'm pressing my shower steamer in between working with the mixture is I put a paper plate and cover it, and then I press my tulip shaped shower steamer. So I just check it every few minutes to make sure my mixture is actually holding. So I do the you know, press it like that, and I do the drop mixture. It's just to make sure, and I do kind of swirl it around. So I mix it around with my hand to make sure that it still stays nice and light and fluffy. And then the summertime, I just kind of like slow down. I don't have to rush as much. In summer months, your mixture is not over drying as quickly, so you have a little bit more lead time in making your shower steamers. Also, another way that I do combat this, and this is a pro tip, is I add a little bit more of the 91% rubbing alcohol. So it all depends on the batch size that you're making. So I tend to double my batches, so I use 0.20 more ounces in my batch. And then if it's too wet, so like today I'm making the tulip shower steamers, and if it's too wet, it'll actually stick inside the mold and it won't release. So to combat that problem, I actually will press it into the lotus mold or the other mold I use to make the little star shower steamers, and I have a video on that. I'll just link it below. So number three is pressing detail and getting those nice crisp lines in a drier environment. So in order to do that, today I'm using the tulip Kata mold, and I've showed this in some other videos on how to make shower steamers with a tulip one. But this is not how to make it. This is just some pro tips and what I do during the winter time in making these shower steamers for the holiday season coming up, which is Mother's Day. And I'm going to be adding this to a gift basket. And so to make this so it has nice crisp lines is I actually have to press a lot harder. And that's when I use my arbor press. So if you don't have an arbor press, you really have to press super hard to get those nice crisp lines. Otherwise, if you don't and you release it, these lines will fall off and they'll crumble, and you don't want that. So the key to having nice crisp lines is pressing a lot harder, so you have to use a lot more force. So if you ever had the petals kind of crumble and things like that, or just break apart, it's because it wasn't pressed enough, especially during the winter months, because the air is so dry that you have to use a little bit of a different technique in making the shower steamers. So number 4 is I want to talk about curing time. And in the winter time, since the air is so much drier, it actually pulls moisture from the outside of the shower steamer. So the inside of it actually hasn't dried completely or cured completely like the outside has. So you do want to allow ample curing time, which is usually overnight, for the shower steamer to cure properly. And especially if you're making gift sets or you're selling to the public, you really want to make sure those shower steamers cure properly. So if you rush this step and you just make it and you let it dry a few hours and you think that it's dry, this can lead to cracking and breaking. So it's not good for you and it's not good for your customer. Number 5 is adjusting for the seasons, and this is normal. Some water is dry in here, so you want to make sure you drink enough water. So you want to adjust. So number 5 is you want to adjust to the seasons. So working in the wintertime is definitely a little bit different, but it doesn't mean that you can't make shower steamers in the wintertime. I make it all year long. Wintertime, rain, snow, whatever, doesn't matter, I still make them. My point is you can be using the same recipe that you have used in January and then you're making it in July or vice versa, and it is different. And that's because of the humidity in the air. That really does make a difference. You just have to adjust your techniques. So you just want to watch your mix. You want to mix it up, make sure it holds together when you do that drop method or technique. And you've seen me do that in other videos. And so you just want to check it. You want to check your environment, make sure you have enough humidity in the air. Even if you don't, like I'm at 25, and after I shoot this video, I'm going to be making these shower steamers. So it's still very dry in here. So you're just using a different technique or molds when you're making your shower steamers. Like if it's too wet, I use my lotus mold or my little star ones. Then when it's perfect and I've tested it, I start with the tulip one. And this only takes maybe a minute or two. It all depends on where you are. Like if you are in the west, then you definitely have you need more moisture, and you're probably having the same problem we are in the wintertime here, because it's probably the same out there in the west. So yeah, maybe this video will be helpful to you. So hopefully this helps you feel more confident in making shower steamers during the winter months. If you enjoyed this video, or if you have had any of these issues in making shower steamers during the winter time and had problems, please let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to hear how it's working for you or the issues that you've had, so maybe I can make a future video that helps you out in the future. If you want to level up your DIY or skincare knowledge, I have a weekly newsletter that I'm going to be offering, and I have resources, I have tips, I have ideas and recipes that I don't share anywhere else. So I'll leave a link in the description box below if you're interested. And the next video to watch is a series or a playlist on making shower steamers. And the first one to start with is the super strong shower steamers, or what ingredients to use. So I'll leave that playlist here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.